Hello, this is Tom Cooley with Go Clover Connect. And I want to first thank you for activating the payment functionality that's built into your EMR prompt. Today, we're going to walk through the CardPointe backend, which is included with your merchant account and does provide some key functionality that you will need to come here to do specifically. So the first thing you're going to need is to have access to CardPointe, and that's granted through the administration tab under users. The owner, officer, signer, the person that signed the merchant application, created the first user ID when they signed the merchant account. So they'll need to come in here to add any additional users. They can create the first user, an admin user, and that user would have access to everything, including adding, removing users. Or you could make that user a standard user, which would allow you to pick and choose if you have more than one merchant ID, and also to pick and choose the functionality for that specific user. But once you do hit save, that individual will receive an email with an invitation to create their unique username and password for CardPointe. And they can log in and perform the functionality that you're granted access. Included in your merchant account in CardPointe backend is access to the CardPointe virtual terminal. This is where you're going to come to run any virtual credit cards you receive from insurance providers, or if you do need to run a credit card for a non-prompt patient. You are able to come in here and manually enter those credit cards just by typing the credit card number, expiration date, name on the card, and the dollar amount. Once you do hit process, this transaction will be included in that day's batch total and deposited for next day funding. You are also able to securely store the card on file if it's not an insurance credit card. The only thing that's required for you to do so is that the cardholder has given you verbal or written permission to do so. We're going to ask how that happened, and that's all that's required from our perspective. Also found in the virtual terminal are any cards that you're holding on file. So within prompt, you are able to securely store the cards on file. And if you do store those, you're just storing a link within the prompt application. The link is accessing this database. So if any one of your patients decide they don't want to have the credit card stored any longer, you can simply search for that card number using the last four digits of the credit card, hit last four, and you can delete that customer from here. Deleting them here in CardPointe also deletes them from the prompt drop-down menu in the patient's account. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover here in the CardPointe virtual terminal are billing plans. This allows you to set up a recurring payment plan for any patient. You can just do this by setting this up here by hitting your billing plan. You can either charge the card on file by searching for that card number, pulling the card on file, or you can type the credit card number in if you don't have that already. You can simply choose the start date of the recurring payment cycle. Let's say it's the first of the month. You want to charge until it's canceled. So this would be the event of, like I said, say it's a membership program. So this will get billed into you cancel the billing, so there's no end date. Or you can set this up for a total number of fixed installments. Let's say you want to collect 3 installments of $50. That would build on those dates as well. So this is a pretty basic recurring payment plan, but it does give you that functionality in case you need that. Now, a couple other things you're going to want to do here in the CardPointe backend are voids and refunds. Voids and refunds are performed right here in the CardPointe reporting tab under transactions. You simply search for the transaction using the date range for the transaction in question. You can also narrow that down by looking for a specific dollar amount of transaction or last four digits of the credit card. But once you do find the transaction in question, you are able to simply choose that transaction number. If it's the same day, you're able to void it. Or you're able to refund for up to a year, and you are able to refund partial amounts. So anything you do here in the CardPointe backend, you have to make sure that you post those manually back into the patient's account prompt, just to make sure that you reconcile those correctly. Now, and from a reporting perspective, you are able to get detailed, granular view of your transaction activity, and you are able to sort your transaction activity based on how it was processed. So this is really useful because you can choose API, and this is going to be anything that came over through from everything from prompt. So if I uncheck that, if I look at CardPointe billing, that's going to show me everything that came through that CardPointe billing, the recurring billing program I just covered. The CardPointe virtual terminal, this is any transaction that was processed right here in the CardPointe virtual terminal. One last report I think is really valuable here is the funding detail report. This shows you exactly what we're depositing into your checking account on any given day. You can also choose the funding date to give you get a detailed breakdown of the transactions that made up that specific funding event. Now, under the My Account tab, this is where you're going to come to validate your PCI compliance. PCI compliance is just a questionnaire that you'll have to answer. Once your account's approved, you've got 90 days to answer that questionnaire. Just keep in mind that PCI status does not have anything to do with your ability to accept credit cards or the functionality of the device. You'll only be billed a fee if you fail to do that within the first 90 days of activating your account. Lastly, I want to cover support. Support's also built in with a ticketing system that allows you to communicate directly with the support team on any particular issue. You also have 24-hour-a-day customer service tech support through this 800-877 number. Support's also not far away at support@gocardconnect.com. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have any challenges, questions, or concerns. And I hope this has been helpful. If there's any comments or concerns or questions you can add, please feel free to message me directly, and I'll be sure to incorporate those in future videos. Thanks for listening.